Episode number 8. Let's go, buddy. Weekly podcast. We skipped a couple weeks. We had Easter. After Easter, we got really busy for some reason. And then we canceled, because we were scheduled for Wednesday.
Oh,
We canceled that. And then the following Monday, we canceled that as well, didn't we? Yeah, we canceled that as well. So
yeah.
we made 3 attempts to get back to this, but now we're back.
I'm
excited. Obviously, kind of out of the rhythm, so we're trying to get back into the rhythm. It was obviously good. I liked recording it for those last few weeks that we did it. And now we're back for number 8th episode. We've had Tom on here. We've had Hugh McPherson. I don't know what this is.
We had MM.
We had MM, yeah.
Mom
Man twice. So episode number 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to release this to the Naftman family, see what goes on there. I'm pretty sure they're going to have some opinions on it. Maybe it'll get some traction, maybe it won't. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But it's been a while, and I think I'm kind of set into it, so I don't really care too much. But I'm interested in releasing it and seeing how it goes.
Did you figure out the iTunes thing?
Yeah, Jason got it up on iTunes, and that was obviously a bit of annoying, but yeah,
That's
so
great.
it's big celebration on that part.
Very good.
But what's the plan for this week then?
I don't know. I'm drinking coffee.
Donald's coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's the plan? What are you doing this week? You've hired a bunch of new people on the staff.
Yeah.
So what kind of hiring have you done?
So, I've hired 3 staff so far.
Yeah.
First hire was for a regional rep in Nanaimo.
Okay.
Her name is Jess. She just started, so still trying to figure things out. I feel like the beginning is always the most challenging because you want your employees to be independent because you don't want to waste all your time on the employees, and that takes time to train them, but that's part of the job. And then I hired a wine tasting crew member, so I'm looking for someone to do wine tastings on weekends, and his name is Raghav. He is from India, has a heavy accent, but he's doing really well with wine tastings. He sold a lot of wine, which is a little bit surprising, but he's just a positive person, and positive people are good at sales.
Surprising because you think he has a cultural difference?
Yeah, cultural difference.
Yeah.
But it's not a big deal because the customers don't see that way, right? So maybe they do, but they appreciate that he's trying.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I hired another guy. His name is Drov. He told me Drov means pole star. Pole star is like the brightest star in the sky or something like that.
I thought his name was Tandu for the longest time.
Oh, yeah, you're lost.
But what's his position?
He is he wanted to call himself business development manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because for getting your PR, permanent residence, the jobs that you are titled as go towards a point system, and the point you have to have a certain number of points per year.
Sure.
To get PR. So if he has a higher title, he gets more points, and he's actually fulfilling that role. He's looking into ways to develop the business. He's straight out of university. Was recommended by one of his professors to go to our business and work for us, so he's doing that. I've taken him on, kind of the same thing with Jess, trying to get him going, being more independent. He's only been working for 3 days, so it's going well. Yeah, that's my challenge. It took me about a month to hire 3 people.
Didn't you want to hire more people though on top of that?
Yeah, there's one person I'm interviewing today.
Uh-huh.
Her name's Alexa. She's really good. I think she'll be really good. I interviewed her over video call. I stopped doing in-person interviews. Even if they're from Abbotsford, I just do video call interviews.
Really?
It's I don't have to set up and be like, oh, come in this, that. I just be like, I'm going to call you this time. Sitting here, that's it. And just talk to them for 15 minutes.
And then after that, did you have them come in and do an in-person interview?
She's coming in.
Did you hire someone else as well? She's from...
Coquitlam?
I can't remember where she was. From the island.
No.
She was Licenza, what do you call it?
No, that was Jess.
Oh, that was Jess. Okay.
So she came here, looked at the business.
Yeah.
She came here herself, yeah.
Where is she? What region is she from, you said?
Nanaimo.
Nanaimo, okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, how is she now so far?
She's doing well. She's just transitioning from her old job to the new job, so...
So, what's her plan? How are you going to acclimate her to Land Farms?
So she's working on increasing the business in Nanaimo, so getting into more liquor stores and doing wine tastings every weekend.
Yeah.
So she's pretty much doing part-time work, like a couple days per week and a day per weekend or 2 days per weekend. That's honestly all we need right now. So we have 12 or 13 stores in that area, and we want to go up to Campbell River, which is a little bit higher on the island, and there's about 12 to 15 stores there, and I'm giving her commission on every store that she gets into, so I want her to get into those stores. Her plan, like, she wants to take over the whole island, so she wants to be
the island rep.
So she wants to be in Victoria, she wants to do Campbell River, she wants to do Nanaimo, she wants the whole thing. And honestly, that's probably the best situation, because to give her like a full-time position and making her fulfilled, that'd be the best thing to do.
Definitely.
There is a rep in Victoria that we've hired. She used to work here on the farm, and then she moved to UVic as a student. I'm like, oh, do you want to do this? She's like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. She's been doing it for about 2 years now.
That's Sabrina.
Yeah, but she's gonna move on at the end of summer just because she's pursuing her own career.
It's so crazy because when Sabrina first started, it looked like she had zero skills, knew nothing what she was doing.
I remember.
But when she was working out front and making the strawberries, like, it was not done well, and she was really slow. But then she grew to the position so well. She picked it up so quickly.
Yeah.
And she became such like a leader on the floor. So sometimes it takes a little bit of time for people to really get with it.
Yeah.
Not everybody picks it up all the time, but sometimes those people that do take a little bit more time, they get more ingrained with it and they stay with you longer. Look at Mina.
I know.
Mina's been here for 4 years, but she was like nothing in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right? And now she's gonna be a supervisor of the farm markets and also the produce.
Yeah.
So good. I'm also hiring someone else this week too. Her name's Camille.
What is she doing?
Do you remember when she came in? She did the makeup. She used to do the makeup. She's shorter, big glasses.
She's a little bit crazy.
No, she's not.
No?
No, she's pretty good.
Yeah.
Camille is and then, so she did all the makeup for Honda Cormius actors. So she did it for like the first year, the second year, and like this last year as well.
Yeah.
She also helped hire more makeup artists, make the prosthetics, bring people onto the team. But that's not essentially what I'm hiring for. I'm hiring for the graphic design side of things, because she's going into the GDD program, graphic design development program.
Yeah.
And then her position will be to help with the marketing and with the branding and with design, photography, and all of that, because there's things that you need, that mom needs, Gurley needs, I need, but we just don't have enough people to take it up.
Yeah.
Delena's doing almost full time now.
Yeah.
So that's really good. And then but she's gone to Vegas again.
She goes to Vegas like every 2 weeks.
she went twice in April. And then after that she has on the weekends, pretty much all the way throughout summer, she has wedding commitments because she photographs weddings.
That's good.
She's busy with that, so it's really good. Yeah, she's a really good employee.
Yeah.
It's cool having these really good employees because they help you so much in regards to your every day-to-day, job that you have to do.
I feel like with employees, you can tell when they're gonna be a bad employee, but like early on. But you have to like wait, like the 2 to 3 weeks before, like a month before you can actually tell that. You know what I'm saying, because sometimes you don't believe in employees right away. Like you see them do something bad for the first couple of days, and it's like, okay, this place sucks. Well, within 2 weeks they improve.
Sure.
Right. So.
Yeah, I think.
But some employees.
I think yes and no.
Some employees you can just tell right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like there's a culture issue. Right.
Yeah, I thought that was with Raghav too, but apparently he's selling all this wine, so that's so cool.
Yeah.
Right? There's those different sides of employees that you don't see. Everybody has their own strengths, right? So I think with a lot of employees, you're as an employer, you're looking for reasons to approve the employee. You're looking for reasons to put them down.
No, 100%.
So not just make up your opinion from the beginning, then you start putting them down. Unless like you get like a shift in mentality, right? People just start judging that person and they keep it in their brain for the longest time. That's what I've seen with our dynamic here. With some employees or people talking about whoever.
Yeah.
In a specific manner, and then that always stays in their brain when you talk about that person or bring that person back up. It's always hard to shift that.
For sure.
Change that.
For sure. It's like.
But like, I never thought Raghav was any good.
I know.
right? I never thought.
I never thought he was good either.
Yeah, but
then he's like, oh, I sold this.
Yeah,
I
sold like,
this.
Okay.
Sold this.
Okay. What's going on here? What's going on here? That's the thing too. You always have to, even if the person's not good, you have to you can't say no for them. You have to let them say no for themselves.
100%.
So then you as an employer,
yeah.
it's your job to make sure that we're doing the best job that we can to allow that person to succeed. Because if we're not, in the beginning, you know they're gonna fail anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's always so difficult from an employer's perspective.
Yeah.
Like when we had the Easter egg hunt, right? So we can talk about that. We need to talk about that. We can have the Easter egg hunt and then.
Yeah, we should.
Right.
That's the whole topic.
That's the own topic. Right
yeah.
There. When we picked up when that day that they came for orientation and I was like, who wants to go outside? When they're all sitting there, Natasha, Ava, and they said, yeah, I'm ready to go outside. I didn't think that they were gonna do a good job. Jody, I didn't think she was gonna be good.
Who's Jody?
Jody, she was the egg hunt start line person.
Oh, she was good.
She was so good,
She
gave a speech every time. She was so excellent. And then Natasha, oh my, she's an all-star, dude.
She's dope. Yeah.
She's so good.
She's gonna be so good for wine tasting.
You hung out with her, right?
She's gonna do so well.
Yeah, she's so good.
Yeah.
She's such a just with it all the time. Yeah. Her sensors are always on. She's never zoned out. She's so focused.
And she's smart. Like she'll synthesize the information and just do it perfectly.
Yeah. She's top notch.
Yeah.
So what was your take on the Easter egg hunt?
Honestly, the hardest part of the Easter egg hunt was the employees. I think that's for everybody. But how I dealt with it was I let the employees do their job and I was judging them based on that. I wasn't telling them what to do before I knew their ability. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but why did you say the employees were so hard though?
Because it's just chaos.
What?
It was just unorganization.
You think it's chaos on their part?
No, it's our part.
Yeah.
So just having those employees is just chaos, but it's our fault for that chaos. So I pretty much stayed out of it until the event. Until the event, because you only can train them on the job. I feel like that's the best way to train people is on the job. Right? Because that's when you know their capabilities. How else do you know their capabilities? Unless it's an admin position or a in-house position. If they're becoming a customer service person, you can't train them any other way. You can't tell them to do something and expect them to do it.
Don't you think that there's times where that is true and there's also times where that's not true? I think a portion of the employee's job needs to know about how to get their tools together so they can do their job. Then when it comes down to their job, so for example, Jody, she was the egg hunt start line, right? And her responsibility was to make sure that she had the rope, she had a walkie-talkie, she had a marker to mark people's wristbands, and also a dabber to dab people's scavenger hunt cards. So as long as she had all those, was able to get to her station on time, she knew where her station was, because obviously that's the problem. So first thing is, she comes, she has to put her stuff away, right? She has to sign in. She has to get her uniform, unless she already doesn't have it. Then she has to get all her tools. After she has her tools, she needs to check in with her supervisor and be like, hey, listen, I have all my tools, I'm going to go up, this is what I'm thinking, right? So she goes up to her egg hunt start line, and then she has to wait. Maybe she has a problem, then she has to come and talk to the supervisor, or she has to solve it herself. Yeah. Right? So that whole thinking is only possible if the employee understands all the location of all of their tools, how to use their tools, right? What the purpose is of those tools. And then at that point, once they are ready to do the job because they have everything organized, then they're only able to go ahead and execute. Because then her responsibility was at that point was to announce that this is the egg hunt start line, have people wait until she got called to radio for her to go.
Yeah.
Dab everybody's scavenger hunt cards with her dabber. Tell them the rules, get them hyped up, and then let them go.
Yeah.
Right? That's what her job was.
Yeah.
That's one part, but other part was making sure that she's ready to do her job, right? But for her to make sure that she's ready to do her job, don't you think that she has to have some sort of direction from management?
100%. But she had the tools and things to do. But you tell her exactly what to say?
No, I didn't tell her exactly what to say, right? She learned from what I said after, I showed her to her for a couple of times.
Yeah, so on the job.
Yeah, that's right.
So the tools you can have ahead of time, but the actual execution, I feel like on the job is the best way to do it.
So let's break that down.
Yeah.
How did the on the job for Jody work? I had to be there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to be there, and I had to have 100% conviction. I knew exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
Right. If you were to go train Noe how to use the excavator, you don't know how to use the excavator 100%.
Of course.
You can't do it.
Of course.
Right. So there's that, breaking that portion down. The person who's doing that on the job training needs to commit themselves for enough time period for that employee to actually get a good understanding of what's happening. So maybe going through that cycle a couple of times or maybe 3 times, because every single time you go through that cycle something different happens. And number 2, the person who's doing that on the job training needs to be 100% able to deal with all the different changes that job may have. So like if dad were to go to the front, he wouldn't know all the rules, right? He wouldn't know that he needed to dabble his hunt cards, but he'd do the job, right? You know what I mean? He'd still be able to accomplish it, but he wouldn't be able to do it 100%. So do you understand what I'm saying? That the on-the-job training can also be broken down into the management side of things. So now when you say that there was chaos, why do you think there was chaos? Because now we just broke down training, right?
There's 2 reasons.
Uh-huh.
The first reason is we didn't know what's going on.
Okay.
Second reason is employees didn't know what's going on. The
Okay.
first reason is the root. The second reason is the cause from the root.
The root.
Because the first reason we know what's going on because we were trying new things for that gun. Like, yes and no. We were trying some new things, but for the most part, the stations were automatically set up. Last year, the person who organized the Easter egg hunt is no longer here.
Sam.
So this year, Grenene was organizing it.
Yeah.
And I feel like she wanted to do it her own way.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't really go... It wasn't really organized. I feel like until like Saturday or Sunday, properly. Because we could have prevented that by having everything set up like on the Monday.
I feel
right?
like number one thing is the miscommunication between the office and then everybody else that's involved with what's going on.
Yeah.
So especially even beyond that, then you can also look at like, oh, whose fault is that? Right?
Yeah, I know.
Whose fault is why is there miscommunication?
Yeah.
It's not just one person's fault, it's everyone's fault. Right?
Yeah.
So because understanding the fault, we can also understand how to make it better for the next time, right?
Yeah.
So the next thing that's coming up is the Strawberry Festival.
Yeah.
Right? That's gonna be in the I think we're announcing it for the last week of May, and then last weekend of May, and then every single week going out throughout June, right? And so we've had some conversations in regards to what it's gonna be. So the next step for me to do is to actually put it on Facebook, get the whole outline out there, everyone see it, and then go, right? It's ready to go on Facebook, and then have follow-up meetings all the way up to that start date, to see all the things that need to get done before that, and have that planned out and ready to go. We're already behind, because it's 4 weeks left till the first week of June.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. And then...
I mean last week of May.
Last week of May, so 3 weeks till that. But then, so we're already behind. That's obviously gonna be a struggle, but I don't think that it should be too difficult, because what we're doing isn't that complicated. In the sense that the Strawberry Festival is a social media ploy for us to gain more traction. Yeah. And let people know that this is where you gotta go to go get your strawberries. And each one of those weekends during the strawberry season is going to be a bit more exciting than an average strawberry farm, where you can go and you pick. So once you come, you pick here. Essentially what we're trying to say. Yeah. Right? Because the whole objective behind this is for us to sell strawberries. Yeah. And the best way for us to sell strawberries, where our highest margin is and it's easiest for us, is you pick.
Straight to the consumer and you pick. Yeah.
That's it. We don't have to pick it. No. We grow it, make sure the product quality is top notch. They come and pick it. That's it.
For sure. What's the difference between strawberry seasons and having a strawberry festival?
Difference between strawberry season and having strawberry festival?
Yeah. Because we always have strawberry season here.
I don't follow. So like, what are we doing different during the strawberry festival, which we're not doing during the regular strawberry season? Yes. So we're doing strawberry tours, right? So strawberry tours is like what Mom and Dad experienced in Tanaka Farms, where you actually get onto a hayride. Yeah. You drive all the way to one field, and that field there's different types of strawberries going on, and obviously on the back of the hayride there'll be an announcer, right? I remember talking to Tanvir about that.
Yeah.
She'd be great for it, right?
Sure.
And then Tanvir announces or provides an educational bit all the way up to that field. At that point, they get out and they try a strawberry wine, right? Or a few different samples of wine. And because it's a beautiful grass field, they will overlook and see Mount Baker. They'll want to take pictures out there and maybe a couple photo ops. So they've all of a sudden tried a product which is made from our strawberries, and they've learned all about the strawberries in that field out there as well.
Yeah.
Then they drive back kind of to the front of the store where they're able to just walk back and forth.
Yeah.
The reason why they come here is because, and this is where we're doing the U-Pick. So U-Pick will be organized where every single customer will get a box, like a flat, and each of those flats has 4 baskets, and 1 basket will be included in their price of the ticket.
Yeah.
Where the rest of the 3 baskets won't be. So if they fill out that 1 basket, sure, it's included. Everything extra on top of that is extra that they have to pay for it. But they also have to go through a challenge of who can make the strawberry boxes the fastest. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So it's kind of fun, right? And then they'll also learn a bit more about the strawberries.
Sure.
And they get out, and then they'll probably get shown how to pick, and a tutorial of how to walk through the strawberry field. They're off. They pick. They bring it back to the U-Pick station. They drop off their strawberries, or they pay for the extra strawberries, and they're gone. But now all of a sudden that we've shaken our hand with the consumer on a face-to-face basis and shown them exactly how we make our strawberries and how we grow our strawberries. And maybe in the beginning there'll be only 6 people per hayride for the first freaking 2 weeks. Maybe then afterwards it'll be 15 people.
Sure.
And then 30, and then the following year there'll be full hayrides, right? Because we're not. Mom and I are on the same page when we said that we're not planning to sell this out, but it's a great way for us to really get ourselves out there and show off that this is something different than just a regular U-Pick farm, right?
What else is different?
There'll be a strawberry princess.
Is that going to be a strawberry
princess?
Yeah.
There'll be strawberry photo ops.
Yeah.
We're thinking of incorporating music or photo ops or like couches out there where you can sit around.
Yeah.
Hiding maybe something inside the strawberry field. So just different things just to kind of gain interest that we can use on social media. But the social media strategy for strawberry season is going to be different this year because we're not attacking organic. We're saying that this is where organic is. Here are the facts that many consumers don't even know what's going on. Yeah. Well, are you not excited for strawberry season?
No, I'm excited. I feel like a big part of it is to explain everything to every employee. Because a lot of employees say, like, they always come, especially Tanvir, they're like, oh, I had no idea this was happening. If I didn't look at social media, or if my friend didn't tell me what was on social media, I had no idea if that was happening or not.
That's cool. So what do you mean by that? How do you think that we should go about explaining that, and how often?
You just need to communicate with employees on a regular basis. Maybe not every employee, but like the key employees, like talk to Mina to talk to other employees. Talk to Tanvir to talk to other employees. If you're going to have another leader like Amy, talk to Amy about talking to other employees. Because there's things that like have happened to me, or no, things that there's happened to the farm that I didn't know of.
No, but like, so like, let's be specific.
Yeah.
So the Strawberry Festival coming up.
Yes.
How would you communicate, and who would you communicate that to?
I would have Amy, Mina, and Tanvir in a room.
Yeah.
Not so Tanvir, because Tanvir doesn't really want to be on the customer service side of things anymore.
No, but she needs to know.
Of course she needs to know. But I would have maybe Amy, Mina, Tanvir, and then Natasha's going to be important because she's available full time.
Oh, is she?
She's available full time, 7 days a week.
I don't think she is.
No, it's like from Monday to Friday she's available.
Oh, okay, yeah. She has the weekend off, yeah.
Right? So, and she needs like 1 or 2 days for like her flight school.
Yeah.
And just tell them to explain everything that's going on for the next week or the next 2 weeks, and tell them this is the focal point of what you're trying to do, just like you're telling me.
Yeah.
Just tell them. Because like the problem, I have the same issue where it's like I hire people, and in the back of my brain, or like from like, I think they already know everything.
No, they don't.
Right? They don't know at all. And you assume that they know everything. Like sometimes I assume they know everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Right? Like drove, like yesterday he was telling me he has no idea what's going on with the wine. Like I was telling him like what to do and things to do. Like I was looking to do him like the export market, look how to export wine to Alberta.
Yeah.
But he actually didn't know about like the specific wines and what he was actually selling. So because I've never been through that before with him, and I didn't show him around the farm, things like that. So I need to focus on that for the next time he comes in on Tuesday, and just explain everything to him. I assume that he already knows that, but like he doesn't. He doesn't. Like you gotta get back to basics with all the employees. You gotta be like, this is our business. We started here, and we're at this point. Because last year we had a different employee. I forget her name. Maybe it was Kelsa. Maybe it wasn't Kelsa. But she had no idea. No, it was 2 years ago. What was the other person's name that helped organize the school springtime thing? Laura. She had no idea that our business started in 1977.
Oh yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
You just assume.
Yeah.
You just assume. So all the employees need to be on the same page. Because at the end of the day, that makes your life easier.
Of course.
It's like on-the-job training.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah, but didn't Gurleen spend... wasn't this a big part of last year? Didn't Gurleen spend all this time with Amy and that one guy making these videos and tutorials and stuff like that?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, that's out of my control. I want to do things that are under my control because I have had no feedback about that at all.
Yeah, but don't you think that we should be having that conversation with the rest of the office?
Oh, we should. 100% we should.
Shit, man.
Right? It gives me anxiety, right?
Hundies, dude.
Amy told me like a few weeks ago that was done, but like I don't know what was done.
No, I last Friday when we had, not last Friday, but 2 Fridays ago, we had that conversation with everybody inside the office where Brittany had to get up and leave because whatever, she was time for her to go, whatever. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then after you left, Gurleen and Mom, they said that we were gonna meet Wednesday, or Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
And then I messaged Gurleen asking. She said Wednesday doesn't work, Thursday does.
Yeah.
But I've been so busy that I haven't replied back to Gurleen. Yeah. But maybe they've talked about it, maybe they haven't.
Yeah.
But it's not my responsibility to make sure that everybody's doing those things. It's everyone's responsibility to make sure they're on top of training.
For sure.
Right? Don't you think?
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't have to go and hound people to make sure they're doing the job.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that makes it so difficult for everybody else because, like, I can't go, like, I'm already so busy.
Yeah.
I can't go start doing people's jobs, dude.
Yeah. Well, didn't he have that one person, like, explain the whole thing, like, do the tutorial?
That one guy?
No, the girl.
Amy?
No, like you were in front of the green building and you put it on. You put it in the group, didn't you?
Yeah. I did that on my own.
Yeah.
I have that for a bunch of everybody.
Yeah.
A bunch of people.
I
just saved that. I haven't used it yet because I don't really I want to know what everybody else is thinking first.
Yeah.
If we're going to put that out there.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you can do like a group call. Like having like a call is a lot easier than doing things in person. Just like an information session with employees. Sure. Like the key employees, like identify the key employees, tell them what's going on.
Yeah.
But like it's your responsibility to tell everybody else.
Yeah.
Right? And then you can be on the floor every once in a while. You can see if things are going right or not. Mm-hmm. And then you can give feedback on that.
So this is what happens with growth, right? Because we're growing so fast. Because look, if you look at just produce and wholesale and strawberries for one example, right? Our strawberries, we used to only have 10 rows of the day neutral varieties, right? Now we have close to 10 acres.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
In like 4 years, I think. It happened. 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So it blew up because we started wholesaling to Kins, right? Mm-hmm. And to a bunch of other producers, right?
Yeah.
And like it was just like how you cold called all these stores.
Yeah.
I used to do the exact same thing. Put it in the back of my truck. I'd have school. But then I'd get orders while I'm sitting in class, and I have to go drop it off in between.
The same way.
Right?
Yeah.
Of school and class, and then I just deliver them and make sure they're picked, and make sure the picker's there in the morning picking, and me weigh it and go drop it off.
Yeah.
And manage that, make sure the money's in and on time, and then slowly I met Fong from Chilliwack. That led to me to Kins, and I went and met Ted, and then just move forward in that direction. Now we have Canada Gap, which is almost done, and Canada Gap means that we're able to sell to anybody within the world, essentially, because our food can get exported. and that just means that our food's food safe, right?
Yeah.
And what's a really big accomplishment for a farmer to
awesome.
have Canada Gap.
That's awesome.
So that's a big hurdle that I'm dealing with at the same time. But then that's just the wholesale side of things. Whereas farm markets, where there's so many different farmers markets, and I'm picking strawberries in the morning from 4 o'clock to like 10.
Yeah.
And then in the evening we're picking again, so I can't go to farmers market, so it needs to be a leader. So Mina's gonna lead that. Yeah. But then now, if we're pushing strawberries so much, that means that we should also have a good strawberry display at the store like we used to, right? Of course. So Mina needs to run the produce display. Yeah. So the whole plan with that is so Mina can make sure that she's purchasing. She figures out where to purchase local produce from. She maintains the local produce like Frank used to, right?
Yeah.
But then also gets the farmers market people supervised and ready to go as well, because then she can do all that. She knows how it works, right? Yeah. And then that's all taken care of. But then Jacob is helping me hire people for delivering strawberries. Yeah. So he's already interviewed 3 or 4 people.
I saw that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So 3 or 4 people should be delivering strawberries. Yeah. And then we have to get vans to deliver those strawberries. So it's a big circle that all needs to function together for it to be successful. And at the same time, I have my engagement function coming up on the 18th. And strawberry season is going to start on the 18th too. Yeah. Right? So it's just a lot of work right
Every
now.
Every year's the same shit. If it's not an engagement, it's something else.
Yeah. What else was last year?
I don't know, but there's always shit like that.
Something always happens.
Yeah. Like, you obviously need to get stuff done, but like it's Dad's birthday. Yeah. Right? There's things that like that happen. Right?
For sure.
The thing that I see is going on in the farm is we're specializing. We're having employees specialize in certain things.
That we did before?
Like, you were doing these things before, but you're trying to have key employees do those jobs for you.
Yeah, of course.
Those are specialized employees.
Oh, that's for sure, yeah.
Right? So they need to be treated special. They need to be given more attention. And they need to be rewarded for that. Right?
Yeah.
But the first part is giving them the ability to do the job, and then gauging their ability, like actually knowing that they're doing a good job. And then if you're not good at that job, then you need someone else, or you have to be okay with that. And get them to do like that job, like 5 out of 10 job, because you're not doing that job anymore. Someone else is doing that job.
Sure.
And you have time to do something else. I was talking to a manager. She manages 2 stores, one in Nanaimo, like it's a really big store, and one in Victoria that's a decent sized store, like liquor stores. And I talked to the manager, and she's like, she's doing a really good job. She's the perfect rep. Like, she's communicating properly, she's doing tastings on a regular basis. Right? What I see from the outside's perspective is like, if I was doing her job, I could do it way better, but I have to be okay with her doing her job to her ability. Right?
That's really good. But I know how you're saying you should treat him special. Today Jake is supposed to come in at 12:30.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to communicate and just get into page. Like, just what's going on.
Of course.
But he's coming at 12:30, maybe I'll go for lunch with him.
Yeah.
And that will just kind of separate him with everybody else. Mm-hmm. And then I need to eat lunch at 12:30 anyways. 2 birds, 1 stone, and then we'll have a conversation about everything, make notes, deadlines. Yeah. And then work towards it, right? Yeah. That's essentially what we need to do, and then you spend more time with those employees that you don't spend with everybody else.
For sure, 100%.
Like yesterday when drove, I sat up here with him, and he was kind of like didn't really know what to do, and he had done some work, and he was like, now what's next?
Yeah.
But we made a plan, and he's like, oh, that's really helpful. I can actually do my job.
Oh, 100%.
Because he was looking at stores, and he had contacted those stores already.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just got a message from Nick from Meridian just 2 days ago. Now you're contacting him, and it looks kind of unprofessional, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I understand. And I was like, from our conversation we had last week, or a few days ago, it was your responsibility to look at stores which were similar to Kin's Farm Market, similar to Choice's Farm Market, make us a list of them, and figure out who to contact and when to contact.
Yeah.
He's like, I know, and he's like, my mistake for contacting them. I was like, no, it's not a problem that you took the initiative to contact them.
Yeah.
I was like, we just have to be a bit more organized.
For sure.
So what we did is that we organized people into smaller stores, Kin's Farm Market, Whole Foods, and like super centers, right? So there's 4 different clienteles: small, Kin's, Whole Foods, and super centers, right? Like Walmart, etc.
Yeah.
And so the smaller stores, we were like, I mean, how do you want to deal with them? I was like, those are good stores for us to kind of add into our delivery route whenever we can, but they're not our ideal client because they are so they're so needy. There's only 1 store. Their minimum quantities are so low. Delivering to those stores doesn't make much sense, right? He's like, I was like, there's a lot of them, but it's too much management time, and doesn't make sense for us to deliver to them all the time.
Yeah.
Unless they fit our delivery schedule.
Yeah.
He's like, how about Kinsman Choices? I was like, those are good stores for us to get into and add to our roster and service those stores and make sure they're top priority customers. Yeah. Because those are people who have multiple stores and we're only dealing with one purchasing manager.
Yeah.
Right? And for us to get out there.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
So I'm working on that at the same time. And then he's like, what about Whole Foods? I was like, so those ones, they maybe have specific parameters for us to make sure our food is food safe or packaged correctly or has the right labeling for us to get on there, or maybe there's a form that we have to fill out. So I was like, contact them and see what the parameters are for us to get into them. Yeah. And I was like, do the same thing for Walmart and Superstore and Save on Foods. He's like, okay, I can do all of this now, right? Because he understands what he's doing and how it fits in.
He has direction.
He understands how it fits in.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest thing.
He has direction to your expectations.
That's right.
Because you give him proper information.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because like what happened with that is the first thing that I mentioned was like at the first meeting on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Last Tuesday, okay, I hired this guy. He's really good. He's going to help me with wine. And then I was like, he can do wholesale berries too.
Yeah.
Remember I mentioned that?
Yeah.
And the next step, what happened was Mom came, right? And Mom was like, okay, we need to get into Alberta.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we spent a bunch of time getting into Alberta. And then you came for a brief time. You're like, Alberta is not what we need local people.
Yeah.
Right? And then from that, I had him look up local people.
Yeah.
Right? But then we knew that wasn't the best. You knew that wasn't the best thing to go about it. So now you want to focus on...
It's all still no local people.
Well,
it's organizing it correctly.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like... For my example, it's like... there's certain chains. Like there's Bears and liquor stores. There's Liquor Depot. And these stores are a lot more important than like the average store.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they have a whole chain.
Yeah.
The managers talk to each other.
Yeah,
so if you're servicing one store really well, the other stores can be like, okay, I want the product as well.
100%.
Right?
100%.
It's just... leverage is a better way to get leverage.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So I understand that completely. It's a good direction. Like I'm on the same page now as you.
Yeah.
So, but he's working with me.
Yeah.
In the same office. So I need to make sure he's on the same page.
Yeah.
Because I don't want him to do a job that you're not okay with.
Sure.
Right?
So I think that maybe after I have the conversation with Dhruv, the next thing that Dhruv could do is go reiterate that conversation to you.
100%. He did.
Then after he reiterates the conversation to you, you and I can talk to make sure that he understands it.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Then we're all on the same page.
Yeah. So he told me, he was a little bit worried. He's like, we did this completely wrong.
Yeah.
He told me that. And then I'm like, okay, there's a chain in Nanaimo. It's called Country Grocer. Look them up.
Yeah.
Right? And then he knows he has direction.
Yeah.
To do things, right? And obviously you told him about Walmart, all those things.
Yeah.
He's going to do that as well.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Right?
He understands it not completely.
He understands. He's a smart kid.
There's nothing wrong with going to Alberta.
I know,
Vancouver
but like,
Island or Kelowna or Soyuz or anywhere, Squamish, Whistler.
Yeah.
But it makes more sense that if we're looking in those areas, there's a bit of organization to it.
For sure.
Because now if he's looking at a store which is so small and a store which is really big, you have to treat them differently.
100%.
You have to completely treat them differently.
100%. Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing, looking at that.
Because what I told him to do, he didn't really do what I told him to do. I just told him to contact 10 stores and get the manager information.
Yeah.
But he was actually talking to the manager and getting talking about the product.
No, he can't do that.
I know he can't. So all I was asking for him just to gather information, but he went one step ahead. He's like, oh, I'm going to do this job really well.
No, he
but
can't.
I didn't communicate that with him, right? So
yeah, no, I did.
No, exactly, right? Because that's your responsibility, for sure.
Yeah, he can't.
But what's happening though with our farm is that we're having more and more employees being specialized in certain areas, and from their perspective, they're doing a job that's better than the average employee, so they want to be rewarded to a higher degree.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we talked about Mina's wage, and we said that she needs to get paid more than the person, like, who's getting paid minimum, right? And I had a brief conversation with her about that. And she's like, I don't want to get paid $1 more than the average employee out of high school, right? She told me that. She's straight up, right? I'm like, yeah, you deserve it, right?
It also has to do with economics too, man.
Of course.
It's ridiculous what minimum wage is right now.
Of course. It's not going to go down.
No, I don't think so.
It's not going to go down unless the economy goes to shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Still.
So, like, one thing Lauren told me, getting on this topic, is that I was at his farm, And then he was like, you need to automate everything.
Oh yeah.
You need to automate everything. So buy the equipment now, automate everything so your labor cost goes down. So we spent some time buying equipment, but I don't know how to do that with like regular customer service and whatnot, you know?
What do you mean?
How do you cut down your labor costs from like that perspective? Like how would a Whole Foods like that has just a huge store cut down their labor costs and not have like how would their employees be efficient? Like how would they have 5 good employees versus having 20 average employees?
Oh, how would they do that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because that's how they would cut down the labor costs, right?
Well, like look at McDonald's with their computers that they've added on,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if that's something that we are ready for, but I
Yeah.
know that we do that with some of the bigger methods, like online ticketing,
Yeah.
right? Essentially we're having the conversation with the customer
Yeah.
online through our marketing and then through the ticketing software, and they're purchasing opposed to being here and wasting our employees' time. Not wasting, but standing in line.
Yeah.
And then that is obviously a really big help, right?
Yeah.
There's time ticketing that we're going to offer is going to be the next big thing where people are only coming here for the period of time that their actual event is for. You know, that's going to be the next thing, and that's going to help with having as many employees, because we're not going to need that much. We're not going to be on edge.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to have 2,000 people online. We're going to have maybe 500.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a completely different.
Yeah.
And quality will go up of service. And then, I don't know, I think it kind of just happens one thing after the next. It just leads. As you grow, you start seeing different parts of the business that you didn't see before.
Yeah.
Like it just gets uncovered, and you're like, oh yeah, maybe this will be the next thing. Then you change that, another piece gets uncovered. It's just a big thing that you keep peeling. You see more and more and more and more.
Yeah, you know how we look at revenue on a daily basis and like, oh, this day have more revenue than this day, right? You need to look at your cost that way too. Like you need to look at your cost for employees like in a way of like numbers. Like there's a certain amount of labor hours that your employees put in.
Sure.
How can you cut that down by, like minimum wage is going up by $1, right?
Yeah.
How can you reduce your minimum wage by, if the total amount of hours is 100 hours, right? And because minimum wage is $140, if you cut down, like before it used to be $130 because minimum wage is $12 something, right?
So for 10 hours or 100 hours?
Exactly. How would you cut down those 10 hours?
For minimum wage? But for your labor costs?
For labor costs, right?
I think it just has to be with being efficient and spending your time appropriately, because there's no point in hiring more people and putting them into a position if the job they're doing isn't even relevant for the company.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what we're doing. So if we're sitting there and working on, I don't know, what's something that we do that we don't agree on.
Or we talked about like the hiring videos, right?
Sure. So if we're sitting there and spending time on creating videos which are for training, but it takes 100 hours to do that, maybe that's not the most efficient use of time, especially if the results aren't there.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So either maybe it's that person, it's the direction, it's the objective at hand, or whatever it is for that specific job, it needs to change. But the only way we know that is if employees are recording their time, right? So that's my next thing that I actually just thought about the other day. For the boys, I'm going to set up a spreadsheet where the clock in, clock out, where this has different categories. So strawberries, like today, I don't have a date. So on the left, it'll say strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, pumpkins, cords, whatever, right? And the top, it'll say have the date, and they'll just be like, okay, so they spend 8 hours a day working, 4 hours here, 4 hours here. And then at the bottom, it'll just tally up, or in the right-hand side, it'll just tally up, and at the end of the year, we'll know how much time they spent on strawberries.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's easy. You can do the same thing here, depending on whatever areas you think are
of course
most effective for you. So like if you look at Brianna and how many hours she spends here, if you think that it's not important for her to spend time on computers, but she's spending 100 hours on it, and out of her 1,000 hours a year, right? Maybe that is useful, maybe it isn't. It's 10% of her hours.
Of course.
That's exactly how you need to look at it.
Yeah. And you need, like, obviously labor is connected to revenue and
it's
profit, right? So I hired Raghav.
Yeah.
And I want to give him full time because he's a good employee.
Yeah.
So I'm like, come in every week. They come in between 12 and 5.
Don't you think it's going to be difficult for you to hire, or it's because you hired Raghav?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be difficult for you to keep giving him work, or are you going to keep thinking about new things for him to work on, or how are you going to communicate that with him?
No, his job is going to be 7 days a week. You're going to be in the tasting room, like on.
Oh, sorry, Raghav. I meant Drove.
Drove?
Okay, yeah.
It's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be a challenge, because I just want to do it because I've never had an opportunity to do this before, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna figure out how to do it better, right? It's at the expense of an employee, which is not the best thing to do, but we'll see.
Have you seen my daily updates thing inside the marketing side of things?
No.
You should look at that.
I should see it.
It really helps staying organized, because what's gonna happen is that you're gonna have Drove sitting here.
Yeah.
He's gonna work on something for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, oh shit, what did we talk about 2 weeks ago? Oh, this is what we talked about? Man, I don't have good notes on that. Wow, I'm a shitty leader. That's what ended up happening to me. So I started creating a daily updates thing where I don't update what they've done for the day. It's their responsibility to put in what they've done. So especially the next time that they come in, and it's been like a week because they've been on holidays, they know exactly what they've done, where it's at, and what's going on, right? That's one thing. And the second thing that I do is that Delana, Robin, Alex, all the employees have their to-do list. All of them have a to-do list. And it's my responsibility as a good manager to go and update their to-do list on a continuous basis based off when they're coming in. Because if they're coming in, they're sitting here, it's not who uses time is that? No one's. We're all losing money.
Oh,
right?
Course.
It's her responsibility to be here and ready to work, but if I'm not providing her work, it's retarded.
Of course.
So that's what I do. But maybe that's something that you want to take a look at. It's inside the creative folder. You can look at it.
I'll look at it.
Okay, we gotta sign off from the podcast. Episode number 8. This is your co-host Amir.
Talk to you next week.
See you later.
Bye.
Adios.